cards. Starto. Someone sends their thanks for the letter you wrote, and oh, I got a new sticker! Snow globe! Nice and comfy cottage. Very cute. Yay! Someone sends their thanks and letter for the letter and wrote another penguin sticker. Someone sends their thanks for the letter you wrote and another model vote sticker. Yay! I like when people thank me. Like, I feel like I'm doing something in this game, and I like that a lot. Few requests. No. That's not a request, that's a response. A lot of responses. Okay. Oh, the microphone's in the way. Ooh, does this game has levels? No levels. It just has like seasons, I guess you could say. They have sticker sets and different rooms to write from based on the sticker set you leave it on. And you collect stickers. So, like, let me show you the stickers. Decorate. Oh, I need to add this new one. Nice and comfy cottage. So you get stickers, and then you can add them to your bedroom and like click them and they do stuff. And here's another set of, this is my first set of stickers that I completed when I first started the game. So my room is decorated completely. And then here's another set that I need to work on for season 2. And I have a lot more for volume 3. They all put up? Yeah. And I have like, and I just started getting stuff for volume 4. So I'm happy about that. I feel good. Okay, this looks like a good one. My best friend spends so much time with his boyfriend and his boyfriend's friends. I feel excluded from the friend group. They're always having fun together in another city and never invite me to stuff. I feel lonely. That's a bummer. If they're not inviting you to stuff, there might be a reason for that. Like, maybe the boyfriend doesn't like you, or the boyfriend's friend doesn't like you, or isn't comfortable with you for some reason. Like, introspection helps. Like, why are people treating me like an outsider right now? Is it something I'm doing? Is it something they're dealing with or doing? Is it the circumstance of the relationship causing them to just forget about me? Like, there's a lot of variables here that could dictate what the problem is and how to address it. Ask them if they ever watched the movie Misery. That's the solution. Wow, you're terrible, Plague. Who needs ankles? I want to word this peacefully. Oh, that's like a dream for me, not getting invited to leave my house. It's like the perfect friendship. Okay. I'm sorry. Your friend has shifted focus to his boyfriend and best friend. Maybe they don't invite them because they complain too much. They are writing a letter to a stranger to whine about it. It's not that far-fetched. That's what I'm saying, is like, it's important to be introspective about why people start avoiding you. Because I'm not saying it's always your fault. I'm saying that there's no shame in looking to see if you have any part to play in that new, like, station in the relationship. So let's see. E writes, my best friend spends so much time with his boyfriend and his boyfriend's friend. I feel excluded from the friend group. They're always having fun together in another city and never invite me to stuff. I feel lonely. I'm sorry your friend has shifted focus to his boyfriend plus friend. You deserve relationships that uplift and make you feel wanted. If you're feeling left out, I would speak with your friend about what you're going through and if there's any way to rectify the imbalance in the friendship. Don't be afraid to move on from people that no longer serve you and your best interests. Also, some introspection can't hurt to make sure you aren't partially the cause of this budding rift, but open communication is the best medicine for doubt. Good luck! Friendships. New adventures, just in case the friendship fails. Yeah. Oh, that's a super common occurrence. Yeah, it is. Like, people when they get in relationships, especially early on in life, they get so wrapped up in them, and I never really understood that. Like, when I was young and I had my only boyfriend as a kid, we spent a lot of time together, but we spent a lot of time with our friends, too. Like, we moved our friends into our relationship so we weren't hyper-focused on each other. We were, like, ahead of our time as children. And I never understood people just getting so obsessed with their partners that they just kind of lose sight of the people who helped them get to that point in the first place. My advice would be nothing personal, kid. That happens for everybody, yeah. Friends are just enemies you don't have time to hate yet. I don't agree with you on that one, Plague. Like, there's always time to hate people if you need to. Even though I'm not a fan of hate, I don't use it for anything, so I don't utilize that tool. But I would never try to hate my friends, even if there was like a betrayal or avoidance for some reason. I don't try to hate people for their actions, their choices, because humans are gonna human, as Brittany Simon would say, and I can't begrudge them for being what they are, you know. My friends couples though, that I have time for. So yeah, we'll send this off. Yay. Thank you for taking the time to think about a stranger. I'll rush this right over. New song? New song? No. Okay. Sometimes I get really frustrated because letters have only 7 lines. You just wasted 2 of them by saying that. Like, I understand the purpose of that limit, but if you can't clearly say something, people just won't get the full situation, and you often will be left misunderstood because of that. This isn't a request, this is a complaint. Like, find a way to shorten your point. Get to the point. It's not that hard to just go, well, here are the key points. And people will do their best with what they have. Like, it's nice to have more context, and I wish we did in this game, but make it work. Don't complain, it's not your game. Don't complain about a game that costs $5 and is specifically tailored for minimal effort put forth to send requests, and a little more effort to respond to requests, because it's like you get 7 lines to write a letter, and then you get 14 lines to respond to the letter. And so far, I haven't seen any issues with that. I've come across like one letter that I was like, I wish there was more room for context, but for the most part, it's not necessary. People get their points across just fine. I get really frustrated because letters have only 7 lines. The fact that this person's getting frustrated over a game that's supposed to help you and other people tells me that they need a therapist. They need someone to listen to their extra lines, because this is not the game to help them. This is a game to aid people, not to save people. And this person, frustrated because they only have 7 lines to spill their guts, tells me they need someone more professional to listen to them. Don't overdo it, because then they'll stop talking to you. Yep. Next. Sarah, this is a Wendy's. It's probably because the devs know if it's 50 lines, no one would read that. 100% true. Like, we'll even let them know. Like, this is a video game. This is a leisurely video game. We listen to lo-fi in the game. Like, we're not trying, again, to save people. We're trying to aid people. I should say that. I understand your frustration, but this is a game to aid people, not save people. If you need more room to express yourself, I like the song, Express Yourself. Have you considered a professional that can listen to all of your experiences. I can spell experiences. Also imagine writing 50 lines and then getting trolls replying, "Too long, didn't read," to that. Yeah. That's something I worry about this game, is that people will not abuse the system, but not use it for all good. I've never had any problems with I've only sent out one request, and it was at the beginning of the game when it was still wholly wholesome, and nobody was, like, sending replies in the requests. Like, people are trying to cheat the system. The whole point of the game is to receive anonymous, temporary support for an issue, not to carry on a conversation with people anonymously. Like, this isn't Omegle, you know? Is that right? Omegle? Is that the website with the webcams that you can just change and just skip to the next webcam and watch people? Let's see. H says, sometimes I get really frustrated because letters have only 7 lines. Like, I understand the purpose of that limit, but if you can't clearly say something, people just won't get the full situation, and you often will be left misunderstood because of that. Now that's frustrating, is that someone thinks that it's the game's responsibility to represent your communication clearly. And no, that's your job. And you're supposed to do it in 7 lines, or just don't do it at all. Like, don't complain about the structure of the game and the purpose of the game. Just don't play the game if you don't like it. Like, don't complain in the game about something that's built into the game for a reason. I don't know what's going on. Oh, have you seen me play Kind Words before? He probably doesn't even expect a reply. He probably doesn't, but he's gonna get one. I understand your frustration, but this is a game to aid people, not save people. If you need more room to express yourself, have you considered a professional that can listen to all of your experiences? At the moment, you spent 7 lines expressing annoyance with the way a $5 game is built to gently support others going through hardship. Seems like a waste of time in this space, so have you considered bringing your views into the Pop Cannibal Discord? I feel you could make more headway there than here. I hope you find your voice in 7 lines soon. Because, like, everyone needs support in this game, so saying I hope you find your voice is still nice. There. That guy. No, when you started booting up I'm guessing you were trying to say words and hit enter. Words, I had to go to sleep. Okay, yeah, so this game is basically, people send letters, 7 lines long, about what they're going through and hardships they're dealing with, and then you respond in 14 lines, and it's all anonymous. These are real people. And you collect stickers, like the little sticker that I put in the bottom corner of the letter. You collect stickers, and you can put them on the letters, and you can decorate your room with the stickers. Like, this 4th pack has the snowman, the snow globe, and the penguin. Here's the penguin down in the corner, and then the shelf above the bed has the snow globe and the snowman. But, oops. No, how do I... There's no way to go back without picking the sticker again? That's disappointing. I hit enter. Yeah, it's very wholesome. It's a very wholesome game, but the longer it's been on the shelf of Steam, the more people, I don't want to say are abusing the system, but are not poisoning, but definitely changing the habitat. Like, it used to be just people looking for help. Now it's people, like, trying to get around the anonymity of the game and the simpleness of, like, a single request and a single response, and the most you get back is another sticker to say thank you, basically, from the initial writer of the letter. But people are, like, replying. They're sending out requests, replying to other people's requests, and it's very confusing, and it's kind of clogging up the inboxes of people. So it's making it less enjoyable to answer questions right now, but because, you know, they're harder to sift through. But normally I get letters like, hey, my dog just died and I'm dealing with, you know, that grief, and my parents don't seem to care or acknowledge that I'm in pain, things like that. And then you just come in and support them and help them find ways to heal and be there for themselves, be present in the moment, all that stuff. It's like my favorite game right now. It's very pleasant. This letter is not a good representation of the game. This is a one-off situation, for sure. Most people aren't complaining in the game. They're just expressing their pain, not using it for what it's for. Yeah. Fingers crossed we get a nice letter this time. And not a reply. Hey, how was your day today? You can vent here if it wasn't good, or if it was good, tell me about it. I would like to read it. Take care and stay healthy, okay? That's nice. I don't feel the need to do that in here. I don't usually respond to those because it's like I have friends for that, and I don't want to anonymously have conversations like that with people because it feels disingenuous. Here's a good one. My favorite person left me as I felt the lowest point a person can. I survived because he sent help. The 2 years since spent isolated, no one wants to be around depression. I reach out for old friends, him, but it's like speaking to ghosts. No one sees me anymore. Huh. Here's the thing about depression. It changes the way you view the world. It alters your perception of how people see and treat you. And so, are you positive your friends that you reach out to are like ghosts, or is that just your perception? Because I've been in that situation where I feel like people didn't want to be around me because of my depression, but turns out that wasn't true. And it was just the way I was seeing things. That's not even a question. That's just an emo fan fiction. You're stupid. No one wants to be around depression. Disagree. Disagree. Peers who've suffered the same hardships that depression creates, they don't. We don't mind being around other folks. Oh, I'm getting hungry. In the struggle. But at the same time, though, it's plausible. Maybe their friends don't understand depression. Maybe their friends weren't really that close to him or to stick around through his hardship. Yeah. Like, people... I was just telling a friend today, people who don't have experience with depression and ideation and things like that, they don't know how to handle it. They don't know what to do. They're not prepared. They're not equipped to deal with people who are struggling with depression. Like, it's not something that is taught in school unless you go to school for psychology or healthcare in general. Like, people don't know how to help people in crisis, and it makes them uncomfortable to deal with it sometimes. So you can't begrudge people for how they are naturally. You can only do your best to find people who will accept and understand you in your current state, honestly and genuinely. Friends are supposed to be there for us. That's the whole point of friendship. Her, yeah. You tell them to get on 4chan. That'll definitely help them. Nope, that won't fit. You got this. Let's see. A writes, my favorite person left me as I felt the lowest point a person can. I survived because he sent help. The 2 years since spent isolated, no one wants to be around depression. I reach out for old friends, him, but it's like speaking to ghosts. No one sees me anymore. Disagree. Peers who've suffered the same hardships that depression creates, we don't mind being around other folks in the struggle. It's the neurotypical and mentally sound humans that may have issue, and that's okay. Perhaps it's time to find alternate friendship circles to run in. I highly recommend the internet for this search. Community found on the spectrum of mental health is invaluable and leaves you feeling seen and understood. Don't be afraid to expand your circle of friends to include new, more compatible energies. You got this. Because that's on... I like the doll. That's on period. Friendships come and go. Because people grow in different directions all the time, and they're not always, compatible anymore. I make sure to be transparent about my mental health struggles so that people don't abandon me over it when they find out, because people do that all the time. They walk away when they don't know how to don't know how to cope. And I don't want to deal with that, so I give people the opportunity to walk away in the beginning before I get too attached. So that's why I'm so open about mental health and my issues and things I deal with, because I don't want it to come out later and cause a rift in an already stable relationship. Yeah, I hope this person finds aid. And finds a friend that wants to be there for them. I'm struggling recently, as someone I'm close to is sad, and I'm trying to hardest to help, but I can't constantly worry of losing them, or that I'm not doing my best to help them. Whoa, not your responsibility. If your friend is sad, it is not your job to be sad in their stead. It is your job to be supportive and protect your mental. It's sad. Okay. Not help, but I constantly worry of losing them, or that I'm not doing my best to help them. Two things. Other people's emotions are not your responsibility to control or maintain. If your friend is sad, all you can do is be there for them and offer your support. They have to save themselves. No one likes to hear this, but it's 100% true. It is your job to save yourself. We're not talking about hanging off a cliff and you gotta grab somebody's arm. We're talking about sitting in a room and letting somebody else open the door to let light in. There's a difference between falling to your death and allowing insights into your life. To try to save someone from themselves is counterproductive. People need to reach their bottoms. Because when you take on the burdens of other people, you ignore your own. And who's going to take care of those but you? I've learned a lot about enabling in the last couple of years, and how it manifests and what it does to other people. The more you save people from the consequences of their actions, the less you're helping them. People have to deal with consequence. They have to deal with hardship. Otherwise, they're going to get dealt by that hardship. And that's part of the process. Some of us have to go through difficult times, sometimes on our own. But friends... Oh, the numbing is going away. This is great. So far, no pain, which is good. But we'll see. And worrying about losing them, that's like people who get insecure in relationships and start clinging harder and wondering why the other person is pulling away. Nobody wants to be smothered. Which is why I don't reach out to people very, very often. I let them reach out to me first, because I don't want to inadvertently smother people with me. There's a lot to me, and if you ever talk to me one-on-one, there's walls of text, because I have a lot to say and a lot to express and a lot of information to hand out, and so I don't go seeking people to talk to. I let them seek me instead. Walls of text. Yeah, I'm a big talker online. Not so much in the real world, depending. I like one-on-one, I talk plenty. Well, one-on-one, I let other people do more talking, but when they want to hear from me, I talk a lot. But on the internet, I talk a lot more, technically, because it's like a forum for me. You can read it when you want to or skip it entirely, and I'm totally okay with that. Because I'm secure in myself, and this person doesn't feel secure in themselves, or that I'm not doing my best to help them. Like that's a statement from someone who doesn't believe they're enough, and I want them to feel that way. I like walls of text. I'm used to one-line text. Yeah, I've tried getting into sending out like smaller responses on Twitch to people, but I struggle. I'm like, this whole sentence is necessary for you to get the full picture, the full scope of what I'm trying to communicate to you. Not always welcome in fast-moving chats, but I don't care. Which is interesting, because like I follow like Sweet Anita and Noelle Miller, and sometimes I will send walls of text and they will actually read them. So it's not, especially Anita. Anita doesn't mind my walls of text. Noelle prefers my short messages, I think, but they're fewer and far between. I send him long messages when I tip him, so that it's the TTS. But I like long form conversation because you get more out of it. I struggle with like the one-liners and keeping up with that flow of conversation. It's kind of discombobulated for me. I have a lot of friends who talk like that online. I'm like, I'm trying to keep up. I'm so sorry. It's structured differently. It's hard to keep up with, which is why I like walls of text, because I can just read a block of information and just absorb it that way. It's easier. I send smaller lines because I don't have much to say. That's okay. Like I've never been bothered by the things you say. I think you say plenty. Like there's people who can get their point across in one line, and then there's people like me who don't know how to do that. Oh man, Anita. Yeah, I'm bad with keeping it a single message. Yeah, it's hard. It's super hard. I love Anita. She's so pleasant. Like, I was just telling someone the other day that, I think it was Plague. I think I was talking to you, Plague, about Anita and how I like her so much as a person, but there's something about her that makes me feel like there's a slight disconnect there. Like I feel like I'm talking to a scientist who doesn't believe in anything but science, and that's frustrating for me because like science isn't the end all be all of understanding the universe and all of the magical things that happen within it. There's so much more to existence than what science can prove, and it's sometimes hard for me to hold conversations with people who don't not respect but accept the possibility that what they don't see or they don't understand may be valid and there. And I feel like she's not that kind of person who accepts that things that she can't see, smell, taste, touch, etc. exist. And I can't wrap my head around people that think that way. So there's a slight disconnect between her content and me, but it doesn't outweigh how much I like her content and her as a person. Yeah, I like Anita a lot. But no one's perfect. And I like that too. So let's see. S writes, I'm struggling recently as someone I'm close to is sad, and I'm trying my hardest to help, but I constantly worry of losing them, or that I'm not doing my best to help them. 2 things. Other people's emotions are not your responsibility to control or maintain. If your friend is sad, all you can do is be there for them and offer your support. Anything more than that is a hindrance to them and a drain on you. Not fair for either party. Also, your best is enough, so don't stress about being less than stellar at saving another person. That isn't your job. They have to save themselves. The best thing you can do for your person is to set an example of what wellness looks like. Therapy, journaling, exercise, and meditation rock. Anxiety frog. Nice. Send. You can count on me to deliver this letter. Oh, I got a comment on my first YouTube video. Someone told me the name of the deer. I think her name is, it's a girl, and I think her name is like Elaine or starts with an E. Let's see. I need someone who loved me from the bottom of their heart, ask me how I'm doing, text with me every day, talk about fun stuff and serious stuff together, without getting easily annoyed. It's so hard to find that person. Ooh. Needy people. People who are needy. I don't like needy people. Let me rephrase that. Not that I don't like needy people. I don't know how to tolerate neediness because I'm not needy. I have needs and I'd like them met, but I don't look to other people to meet my needs. If I need them, I supply the need. Like, I love me from the bottom of my heart, which makes me totally fine with people not texting me every day or doing fun, serious stuff with me. I don't mind. I don't mind the isolation of being alone because I like being with myself so much. And I think that if people knew how to sit with themselves and enjoy their own company, they wouldn't require other people to fill that void for them. I need someone who loves me from the bottom of their heart. You don't need that. You need to love yourself from the bottom of your heart, and then you can ask someone to love you from the bottom of their heart. You don't need that to survive. You need love to survive, which is why you have to give it to yourself. You need food to survive, which is why you have to give it to yourself. Do you see the similarities there? So it won't like if I DM you every hour of every day? No. I mean, you can DM me, preferably on Discord, so you don't know if I read the message. I've known people, I have people who want to text me a lot more, but I don't allow for it. I set a healthy boundary that says, you can text me every day, you can DM me every day, but we can't talk for very long. And my responses will be a lot shorter, because I can't do this every day. I don't have enough, I have a very small social battery, and it runs out very fast. Like, Exo and Plague, I was in chat with him yesterday, and by the end of it, I was like, I feel like I was hanging out with people at a party. I felt tired. I felt mildly drained, and I'm like, that's good, because when I socialize, because when I'm by myself, my batteries overfill, and then I get antsy, and then I hang out with people, and they drain, and I think that's a healthy ebb and flow. But by the end of the chat, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Just how I leave parties without telling people goodbye, I have to leave gatherings online for the same reason. That's a very low battery, wow. Yeah. It's small. It's a small battery. It recharges pretty fast. Like, well, let me rephrase that. It actually recharges kind of slowly. Like if I go out on the weekend, I need a week to recover before I can go out again the next weekend. So, and I try not to visit people during the work week because I'm drained after work with a different battery, which impacts my social battery. So, yeah. I have to manage my social experiences very obsessively because I'm very sensitive to socialization. My battery is low when it comes to streaming, but I could be in chat hanging out for a long time, or like being in Discord and just responding when you feel like it. Yeah, that's why I like Discord so much, because it doesn't have a what's it called? A read receipt, and you can just get to stuff when you get to it. And I like that. I like that a lot, because there's no pressure. There's no pressure to respond quickly but you can still acknowledge that you saw something. Kind of like Instagram, where you can kind of peek at the DM unless they sent more than one message. But yeah, hanging out, like voice chat, like chat in Discord doesn't drain me, but voice chat, video chat, that kind of does. Streaming doesn't drain me too much. Because it's like talking, it's like me talking out loud, which I do on my own anyway, and then it's responding to text messages, which doesn't really affect my social battery. So streaming doesn't drain me, but like voice chats do. I was supposed to hop into voice chat yesterday on Anita's server. I did not do that. I said that I might not in case I was feeling too shy, so let's assume that's what happened. Don't hold your sneeze. I don't have a choice. If I don't hold my sneeze, not only will a bunch of snot come flying out of my face and just sit there, which is very attractive, I hurt myself. My throat, I don't want to say flutter because that sounds gentle and delicate. It seizes. My throat seizes. And like the flap that separates your trachea from your, what's it called? The one that goes to your stomach, the tube that goes to your stomach, whatever separates your trachea from your gullet tube, that seizes and hurts. It like does this when I sneeze, and it's like a very painful cramp in my throat. So when I plug my nose, that doesn't happen. So I don't like sneezing without plugging my nose. What happens if you hold in a sneeze? Oh, you cause problems to your inner ear for sure. I know I have issues with my inner ear that I need to have looked at. Like, sometimes I can hear air when I breathe. I hear it in one ear, kind of like there's a leak in the tube of my ear. Like, I feel like there's air passing through my ear. It's very weird. And I know that's from sneezing. I wish people weren't so against people dropping hello or hi, how are you to begin a conversation. I use things like Discord DMs as an answering machine. There's no pressure to respond immediately to me. Just drop a hello and I'll get back to you. I don't mind hi, hello, how are you? I don't mind hi, how are you? That's fine. But if you just say hi or hello, especially if I don't know you, like I had someone come to my DMs not that long ago who started the conversation with hi. It's not a red flag, but it's a major pet peeve because I know how to hold a conversation. And if you just start the conversation with hi, I feel like this is going to be an imbalanced effort in the conversation. If you can't follow it up with how are you at the very least, I don't think this conversation is going to benefit me. And that guy who I was talking to in Discord, who just came into my DMs out of nowhere, who I'd never talked to before, made me very uncomfortable and crossed a lot of boundaries. And I knew I was right when I was like, I don't like that you started this conversation with hi. Basically, hi, I don't have any friends and I'm just trying to socialize. I'm like, okay, I'll give you a chance. And then I made it clear. They're like, are you a streamer? And I'm like, yeah. Here's my link. If you want to chat with me, I'd like to do it in chat where it's public and not in my DMs because it's too private. It's too personal. And I don't like that with strangers. I don't like that intimacy with a stranger online. And then I made it very clear that I didn't want them in my DMs, and they kept coming into my DMs. So then I blocked them and I banned them from my chat because I don't need that energy. But if we're talking like hello or hi, how are you? Like, there's a difference between that and just a hi. I get that on dating apps. I used to get that on dating apps a lot. And I would ignore those messages because because the first impression is everything. If you can't make a good first impression, I'm not impressed. And I like to be impressed by people who put in effort with me. And I don't get that sometimes, and it bothers me. Yeah, there's no pressure to respond immediately, which I like about Discord. It's because I like to just kind of get to stuff when I get to it, because nothing's really a priority in my life. Larynx, yeah. Esophagus. Yeah, larynx and the esophagus. Thank you. I never heard of that. Yeah, if I try holding my sneeze, I feel like my whole head hurts after that. It does. It probably does. I'm used to it. I've been doing it my whole life. Because the first time I sneezed, I was just like, well, we're not doing that again. So I stopped. Hi, Josie. See, you say hi and then you follow it up immediately with another statement and then another statement and another statement, and that I can work with. Like, people who just say hi and then expect me to start the conversation, I don't like that. It's like, you started the conversation, bring the conversation. Don't put the onus on me onus on me to make this conversation happen. That is so unfair. I didn't ask for this. I'm very picky about my socialization. So when people try to force me to socialize by making all the labor land in my lap when the conversation starts with just hi, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I need someone who loves me from the bottom of their heart. Let's rip into this person's squishy bits. This sounds like compensation for something missing within. Do you love yourself? You are worthy. Bree's about to rip into this person ever so delicately. It's like being the last box of Oreos on the shelf, but I'm encased in bulletproof glass made out of emotional distress. Man's wanted help, but not a novel. No, they didn't want help. They're complaining about not being able to find something they need to find in themselves. Like, this is neediness. This is a very unattractive trait to a lot of people. Not everybody. Some people want to be wanted that much and want to want another person that much. But for the most part, people who are emotionally and internally sound and not stable, but balanced, I guess you could say, balanced with love for self and love of others, they don't need people to need them. And they don't need people like that because they have it already in themselves. And fostering good self-image and a sense of love for yourself makes it so much easier to be in future relationships because you're not looking for someone to fill that void that you are responsible to fill yourself. That is your responsibility. Putting that on somebody else is so unfair, and it leads to toxic or unsustainable relationships all the time. Like, guaranteed, you're gonna have a bad time if you try to make somebody fix you. You're gonna have a bad time because it's no one else's responsibility to fix that but yourself. And so that's just one of my peeves, is needy people not knowing that they need themselves. I do like not needing people. I love not needing people. It's great. It's freeing. Neediness kind of objectifies your partner into a tool to fix you. 100%. Oh my gosh. Say it again. Sorry for being needy and depressed. You're not being needy and depressed. There's a difference between needing help from other people and support and requiring other people fill a void in you. There's a huge difference there. Don't you apologize. Okay, let me read this. N writes, I need someone who loves me from the bottom of their heart. Ask me how I'm doing. Text with me every day. Talk about fun stuff and serious stuff together without getting easily annoyed. It's so hard to find that person. The reason why people get easily annoyed is because you're needy. It's annoying to deal with needy people sometimes because it's a lot. It's a lot of labor to deal with that. And it's not fair to the other person. So you have to put in the work to make their job easier to love you. I think that's our responsibility, is to make it easier for other people to love us by working on and learning to love ourselves first and foremost. But I'm a snob, so that's just me. Let's see, let's pick a sticker. Wait, I didn't, hang on. Oh, that one. Let's see. This sounds like compensation for something missing within. Do you love yourself? Because those of us that do don't require or need other people to fill that void. I recommend learning to love your whole being before looking to others to make up for where you are lacking in that department. Putting that responsibility onto someone else is to make up for what you are lacking is unfair. Putting that responsibility on someone else. Oops, I took screenshots. My bad. Putting that responsibility on someone else to make up for what you are lacking is unfair. Be the love you wish to find in others, and be it for yourself. I hope you get what you were looking for, but try to find it in yourself first. You are worthy. I don't like how I worded this. It's very repetitive, but maybe this person needs repetition to get the message through, so I'm not editing a dang thing. Send. I normally write better, but that one was kind of... made me feel kind of uppity. Well, I wrote my first letter out into the world. Welcome! Welcome to the world of kindness. That's awesome. I hope you have good responses, because it's nice to be supported on this game too. Bipolar, you say? Bipolar 1, so psychosis! Hooray! Psychosis kind of hot though, not gonna lie. Like, psychosis to me is recreational. I like psychosis. I had fun. It was dangerous, and I did some things that I don't regret, but I look back and I go, that was not me. That's not a choice this version of me would have made. That's a different version of me that made that choice. And so it's a little upsetting that I didn't have full control over my factories or olfactories. Olfactory is your smelling ability. My faculties. It's not factories, it's faculties. I didn't have a lot of control over my faculties. And I don't like not being in control of myself, because I don't like being out of control of myself very much. But when I was completely out of control of myself, weirdly enough, I liked it. So, complicated. Psychosis is kind of hot. Bree has factories? This game's making me a bit sniffly just reading these messages. I didn't realize I needed it. Exactly, it's so healing. It makes you feel your feelings. It's the best. Let's write one more letter and then I'm gonna go get food. I don't really know how to start a conversation with people, to be honest. Like, I know a few things to talk about, but no idea how to bring them up without feeling like I'm trying to end an awkward silence. Confidence is key in conversation. But how does one build confidence? You know, I think people think too hard about how to start a conversation. Like me, you can just walk in talking. I don't need that whole, oh, hello, how are you? Let's small talk it out until we get to the meat of the conversation. Just throw a piece of meat at me. Let's just dig into it. Let's just really start talking right away. I think those are the best kinds of conversations that don't have that tedious small talk buildup. I don't need that. And I don't think most people do. I wouldn't say most. I would say I don't think a lot of people need that. So worrying about how to start a conversation isn't the issue. Being confident about talking in the conversation is the issue. Building confidence is tricky because, yeah, that means the person is overthinking, totally overthinking. And fixing overthinking is a whole journey. It is. It's like a lifelong attempt. There are multiple ways to start a conversation. If you want to do a little more than small talk, compliment someone's style or aesthetic, or about their style and add in your own thing. Yeah, totally. That's a good idea. I'll mention that. Working out the empathy muscle is key so that you can think about what they might want to talk about. Ooh, good point. If you see someone wearing a Zelda t-shirt, you can talk about Zelda. Maybe someone has a piercing or a cool hairstyle. Maybe you're in line at a fast food place or coffee place. Talk about the shop or the area you're in. Totally. That's good advice. Focus less on the person and more on what's relevant and genuinely interesting to talk about, in my opinion, because most people wouldn't mind having a nice conversation. I agree. Hey. Don't overthink it. Starting conversations isn't an exact science. Honestly, starting conversation is super easy. It's the small things that matter, and if someone doesn't show interest, they can go fluff themselves. Yes, I agree. What's for you will no pass you by. You ain't got fat cells, you got thick cells. Ma, let me holla at you, ma. No, I used to be very big. I used to be 250. And I gained half of the 100 pounds that I lost. I gained half of that back. So I'm fluffy again. And my belly jiggles a lot. And it sticks out really far. And it's not good for my health. It's not good for my diabetes. I have to lose it. Not for aesthetics, but for health. It really is about health. Because I fell in love with myself and how I looked when I was 250. Not when I was 150. And that took effort. That took work and Tumblr algorithms. Weight is the number on the scale just tells you how much gravity affects you. Doesn't tell you how you affect the world. I don't know why this obsession with fatness has led to so much toxicity applied towards fat people, but the stigma has to end. Fat people are valid. Fatness is valid. Fatness can be very beautiful, just like skinniness can be very beautiful. Bodies in general are beautiful. And it doesn't really matter to me what the hell it looks like. Just as long as health is being taken into consideration, because there's no point in looking good if you're not feeling good. I appreciate your frankness when it comes to fluffiness. I've been battling the old chins for a lifetime. Yeah. My second chin's on its way back right now. But I want to make it go away. So I'm constant. It takes a long time to figure out a regimen for myself. For exercise, because there's so much planning that goes into it. I'm like, when am I going to schedule it? When am I realistically going to do it? How am I going to do it consistently? How many times a week? Like, that process, figuring all that stuff out, takes months and months and months for my brain to get through. And then eventually I might actually attempt to do the thing. Finding common interests and talking around that. Asking people questions about themselves is the ultimate convo life hack. Jay writes, I don't really know how to start a conversation with people, to be honest. Like, I know a few things to talk about, but no idea how to bring them up without feeling like I'm trying to end an awkward silence. Hey, don't overthink it. Starting conversations isn't an exact science, so talk about what interests you and maybe rely on your environment to generate topics, like admiring someone's aesthetic, talking about the setting you're both in, or finding common interests and talking around that. Asking people questions about themselves is the ultimate convo life hack. Humans love to be the focus of another's curiosity when the mood is right. So be curious and let that guide the conversation to its final destination. Ooh, that rhymed. I like that. Coffee. Because when I think of this person being in a conversation with somebody else, they're in a coffee shop. So I like that. Coffee scent. Okay, cool. I'm actually on my way out. I need to go get food, and someone sends her thanks for the letter you wrote and another blobfish sticker. How nice. I feel liked. Yeah, I need to go. Oh, let me check for. Life is all the more beautiful because you exist in it. How nice. I smell food. I need to go. I smell food. Let me check that one too. Alphabet advice. My letter is G. Be not afraid of greatness. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and others have greatness thrust upon them. Shakespeare. Yours is H. No. Bye. Bye, Josie. Bon appetit. Thank you. Bon appetit. Thank you. I'm going to very much enjoy my meal. And my juice. I'm excited for the juice more than the food. I'll probably have soup or something, depending on what my mom wants to cook, or what she cooked. Might dictate what I eat. Yeah. I don't think there's much else. Happy Saturday again to everybody. I'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same network. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Saturday/Sunday. You are loved. You are loved. If not by me, then by somebody else. But you are loved. And focus on that. Because focusing on anything but being loved will leave you feeling empty. And we don't want that. Keep it on full. Oops, hitting buttons. So yeah, I'm gonna go. But I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow. And again, have a great Saturday/Sunday. And until then, bye!